Hi everyone. Today again is a beautiful sunny day. Um, you know what? This video is actually a video for the Black queer community. Um, First of all, I just wanted to say that I am just so fucking disgusted at some of the things that I have read and I actually come across with respect to the ignorances and stereotypes around people who choose same-sex relationships or people who, for various reasons, identify with this, I don't like to call it a label, but this identifier, let's say, called queer. You know, I'm not bisexual or anything like that. I love black men, and I'm heterosexual. And you know what? It is fucking disgusting to even see some of the stuff that comes out of the mouths of these individuals that call themselves black heterosexuals. I'm just reading some things, and you know, we have a lot of work to do as well. And I just want you to know that as a part of the heterosexual world, it's fucking disgusting to even hear and to even begin to. I feel something, but I certainly can't feel the same way as yourselves out there who are ridiculed, who are chastised, who are all kinds of things done to really bring you down. So I just want to say that, um, you know, my respect to you and that community. The black community is very diverse, and it's very sad to see that there are elements within the black community that are actually focused on the thing that actually colonized the black community in the first place. So, when people do stuff like that, I just sort of look at them and I read these comments or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, that's pretty fucking sad. Because you know what? We're all trying to collaborate around solutions to actually raise the collective self esteem of the black community. And, these comments around, uh, it's just so disgusting, around sort of queer. Um, Queer identification um, is just really fucking sad. So I just wanted to say from the heterosexual world um, that you know, just know that there's some of us that actually speak up to this ignorance, and I also have some videos about different things or whatever, and it's really interesting to even read some of um, the I don't even know what to call it, but the ignorance and the need for more ways to get people to understand exactly where their level of comfort comes from. Um, so to the queer community, I just have to say that I am just really, really disgusted. Really disgusted. Like all, like, you know, just these ideas around sort of, there has to be the straight this, there has to be the straight that. Personally, I have my views, but if a person chooses to love in a certain way, then what's the fucking problem? That has nothing to do with me. We can still do business together. That's their form of love. Leave them the fuck alone. And, within the heterosexual world, it's very interesting to even read into the violence emotionally and otherwise from these, I don't even know what to fucking call them, but to me, they're very fucking unattractive. They're very obsessed with asserting their domination through masculinity. And the masculinity that they actually assert is related to the whiteness masculinity that actually colonized um, and disrupted a lot of different communities. So I don't know, man. I was just like, wow, I'm just reading these comments, and I actually became introduced to issues with people that identify with the queer community in something called Studies About Women. And, you know, before I was introduced to that many, many years ago, I had my ignorances because I thought, women's studies was about like, lesbian stuff or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck is this stuff, right? So, um, things I question, I explore. And I decided to take a course. And this was some years ago in university. And, you know, after taking that course, it was actually a survey course about the different experiences that women are up against. And there were issues related to sexuality, labor, environmental, religion, culture, history. Like there was just a survey of all this stuff, and I was like, holy fuck! Like, where did I get these ideas that you know the women's and feminism is about lesbianism? It's not about fucking lesbianism. Just like environment isn't about just one thing. So I just wanted to say to you, my respect to you, and keep on doing what you're doing, because the way that you make your information accessible to us also enriches us as people as well. Um, and to those other individuals that have some problems with the queer community, you really need to fucking educate yourself, man. And how you have to do that is, you know what? Go and get involved with stuff that the queer community is doing. Try and understand their issues and their solutions, and what their experience is. Calling people names from afar and sort of gloating in these ways, actually says a lot about yourself. And to the queer community, thanks for having the black queer community in particular. Thank you for having that information available to us so that we could know um, about a lot of things around the level of sensitivity, but also punitive action to address, certain things that are just disgusting. Like even in biomedical practices and this binary around, male and female, some of these fucking lard asses don't even know anything about surgical procedures that could actually create the wrong gender, for example. And, you have, for example, a male that may start having bleeding through, you know, things associated with the cycle, a reproductive cycle. And there's other things related to, you know, two-spirited persons. And I'm telling you, people who are in the business of, the creation of knowledge, we're also part of that as well. Everyone is. And you really have to review your ethics in terms of the implications of stuff like this. Some of us, we love our black relationships. I mean, it's just, you know, because we actually connect to ancestry and we connect to our core. But then you have like this element in the black community, and it's like, wow, are those people from the lineage that said it was okay to colonize black folk? So, you know what? I just wanted to say personally, thank you for your information to us as well. And, let's let's start reading all these ridiculous comments, and, just maybe also put our heads together to say, okay, you know what? We need to collaborate on even some solutions and, new industries that actually focus more on responding to issues in the black community. We're so diverse. And, There's a lot of potential, let me tell you. But in particular to the black queer community, just know that some of us from the black heterosexual world, um, we actually are in tune with your issues. And also remember that not all of us heterosexuals are, out to lunch or whatever. Um, we actually read into this stuff, and we're with you as well. Thanks.